G'day football fans and welcome back to another wheel spinning video. This time we are off to Germany. We're drinking some beers. I mean, like legitimately, I'm onto my second today. Or this afternoon, not today. I haven't been drinking. It's afternoon. I'm allowed to. Yeah, it's fine. Just let me. It's fine. Anyway, what we're going to do is, if you haven't seen one of these before, I'll just go through it quickly with you. We're going to spin this wheel 11 times. We're going to pick 2 players from each team that it gets to. So we're going to get 11 out of the 18 teams. And build a squad, put that into Football Manager, see how that goes, see if we can win a Bundesliga title and dislodge Bayern Munich from their from pinnacle, I guess. Unless we get Bayern Munich with our first spin. Because with our first spin, that picks our coach, the team that we choose, and basically how we move forward, I guess. Not going to claim by any stretch the imagination to be an expert of German football or, expert in general. I'm just a dude who makes videos in his spare time. But I'm hopeful that today we can bring home a Bundesliga title. I think we went pretty well with our Serie A attempt. Hopefully today is just as successful, really. I'm hoping for a better team than Salernitana, but we'll see how we go. First spin, most important spin. Oh, hang on. Before that, leave us a like down below. Subscribe if you're new around here. If you found this video first time you're seeing the channel, subscribe. May as well. Why not? Much more of this coming. Much more coming with FIFA 23 and Football Manager 23 coming out shortly too. All right, let's get through it. So, first spin of the wheel. This determines the team, and all those beers spinning around drives me a bit nuts. The team we're going with is Augsburg. It will be Augsburg. That is our coach and our fan base and training facilities, all that moving forward. Here we are then, looking at the Augsburg squad to see which 2 players we'll get. We're just using the official Bundesliga website, so if you think that, one of the youth players should be here or whatever, talk to Bundesliga.com. Alrighty, looking at the squad, who do we reckon? I feel like we'll definitely get a better keeper than, Gikiewicz? Oh man, that's bad. This fella. Raphael Gikiewicz, I don't know how to say it properly. He's then number 1, and I know he's decent, but I feel like we'll get better somewhere down the line, basically. Other than him, we need to pick people we know will perform in the Bundesliga, basically. So I'm going to go with Andre Hahn as our first option, and outside of him, I'm not super confident in a whole lot of this squad. I don't really want to pick a striker as yet. As you see, they're languishing down in 11th. I think let's go Iago. Let's get Andre Hahn and Iago. So we've got Andre Hahn, if I'm remembering correctly, if I'm thinking of the right fella, right winger or right side of midfield, maybe attacking sort of midfielder, that sort of right side, that's what I mean. And Iago left back. We'll go with those 2 options. May as well. I think I forgot to mention, we're using their coach. So his name's Enrico Maaßen. He was in Dortmund's reserve team or their second team or Dortmund 2 last year, so I will have to move him across, make sure he's their coach when starting the season, but I don't really know an awful lot about him, so I'm hoping that he gets a decent rating in Football Manager and gets them playing a decent style of football, that sort of stuff. He might be not long for the job if he's not up to scratch. We'll see though. We'll see. Alright, Augsburg are now off the list. We are doing spin number 2. Where are we off to? RB Leipzig. That is a great get because they have some absolute super players. Alrighty, looking at the RB Leipzig squad. They haven't had a fantastic start to their season, but I feel like with the amount of quality players they have, obviously 1, they'll turn it around, but 2, I feel like we've got some really good options here. Firstly, we're going to go with Christopher Nkunku, because after the season he had last year, you'd be legitimately insane not to. The next player I'm going to go with, and it would be easy to go with Konrad Laimer, because I know he had rumours of going to Bayern and things like that. But I'm actually going to go with Xavier Schlager. And my reasoning for that is, it might seem like a weird, option with players like Timo Werner and Andre Silva and, as I said, Konrad Laimer and even some of the defensive options with Gvardiol in 4 or 5 years on Football Manager. Absolutely mental. Schlager though performs straight away and often gets a transfer to I've seen him go to Inter Milan, Bayern Munich, some steps forward as a club, and I think trying to start to round out and choose a squad, that's the right move. Let me know what you reckon. Let me know what you think down below. Alright, Leipzig are off the table now. Spin number 3. Where are we off to? We are heading to Bochum. Not a team I know an awful lot about. Let's see if I recognise some players, hopefully. Alrighty, looking at the Bochum squad. They are actually in last right now, so I feel like not too much quality can come from this. in terms of trying to win a league, because they're doing the opposite of that. In terms of players, I recognise Staphylidis. I'm sure he played for, like, I want to say Norwich in the, maybe, I don't know, someone in Premier League. I'm sure he had a stint in the Premier League, as did Gamboa, as did, obviously, Lise Mousset. Who do we pick, though? I mean, it definitely gets tough because they're not very good, basically. Like, when you're choosing from the bottom of the barrel to try and win a title, it gets tough, especially if we don't get Bayern Munich in these spins and get to pull 2 of their players, we're going to struggle, basically. I'm going to go with my gut, and which is dangerous. It's I'm not researching, I'm not looking them up. If you really stretch, you can look up here, up the top of the screen. There's nothing else open. It's just this and the wheel. I'm not Googling anything. My phone's not near me. I'm going with Gerrit Holtman, because I feel like any time I've watched, I've got to be honest, I'm not watching a lot of Bochum games. I watch highlights, and I feel like he's one of the names that comes up a lot, so I'm going with him. Other than him, it's pretty slim pickings, but I'm going to go with Kevin Stoger, and just sort of hoping that he's decent on Football Manager, basically. He might end up being, 4th choice central midfielder, but slim pickings, basically, slim pickings. Alright, thankfully, Bochum and Howe off the list. We are up to spin number 4. Where are we headed this time? We are going to Stuttgart. Alright, Stuttgart, the first thing that came to mind, 2 first things, I guess. I know Borna Sosa has been rumoured a lot with a move, and he's been quite good. It's a decent left-back option. Him and Iago would then be in our rotation at left-back. Koulibaly's been brilliant this season. Silas was very, very good. Maybe not, I don't think it was last year, but maybe it was the year before. I was then very much hoping that Sasha Kalajdzic was still here. No, he moved to Wolves. It's a struggle. I like the name Antonis Adonis. That's fantastic. I'm not going to pick him based on that, because I've never heard of him. Because I feel like I would remember the name Antonis Adonis. That might be a new manager name? I don't know. Obviously, I know Alu Kuol, he's an Aussie. Who do we go with? Alright, I think we'll go with Zagadou, because he'll still be his Dortmundy self. And then we're going to go with Borna Sosa to already complete our left-back options, which might not sound ideal, 3-4 spins in, without getting a top club. But, I mean, it's better than picking Vaj No Man. I don't know who that is. Why is there no U in Joshua? Like, what's happening? Antonis Adonis. There's a lot going on here with this team. Anyway, let's move on to spin 5. Spin number 5, we are hoping to get just Bayern Munich. So, no. Alright, we're going to Frankfurt, which is pretty good. They did just win the Europa League, so hopefully got some quality. I don't really remember, like looking at the squad, I know a decent amount of the players, and I watched a decent amount of them last year, not too much at the beginning of this, but just looking at them, I can't really think of how great they are on Football Manager, apart from Everton Ndika, who I think he's fairly young, but becomes quite good on Football Manager, so I'm going with him as one of our defensive options. I'm then torn between Daichi Kamada, Jesper Lindstrom, who I know has been very good this year. But I feel like he's been more attacking. Maybe he'll be another attacking midfield option, but then so would Kamada. Alright, we're going to go with Daichi Kamada. I'm going to hope that between him and Christopher Nkunku, we've got that sort of attacking midfield role absolutely sorted. Alrighty, spin number 6. We are at the halfway point already. What a whirlwind it's been, and we're going to Werder Bremen. This is going horrid. We're not getting any of the top clubs, I swear. Alright, here we are. We're looking at Werder Bremen. Who are we going to go with? I mean, I'm starting to get pissed, honestly, because none of it's good. Nothing's good. No, nothing's going to plan. I think I've made my choice. I feel like we're getting a bit stitched up here. I'm going to go with Pavlenka, because I think even if he could end up being a backup or a first choice keeper, depending on what happens later in these spins, he could do either of those jobs. I'm then aware that we haven't had a right back or a striker yet, but I am picking Nicholas Stark because I think quality, basically. Why do they have an Englishman? I've never heard of him. Anyway, a centre back, Nicholas Stark. Good option. I feel like as far as, Bundesliga centre-backs, he's pretty solid. Might do a job for us, hopefully. Up to spin number 7 now. Werder Bremen off the list. And finally, we're going to Borussia Dortmund. Here we go. Some absolute quality players there. Let's see who we're going to go with. Oh, right. Okay, here we are. We are looking at their squad. I feel like if we could get, if we could choose to have either Adeyemi or Moukoko from 2 or 3 years in the future, we'd be absolutely set. You know what I mean? They also then don't. I mean, Thomas Meunier is a great option as a right back. As far as like the league goes, he's got to be up there. But then I feel like we're wasting the pick of getting Dortmund if we go with Meunier, because we could get Niklas Süle, who's a much more quality player, and get him in the center of defense. It's tough. It's a tough one. Also, we don't have a striker. I don't know whether, like who out of Modeste, Haller, Marlon, Mukoko or Adeyemi would actually get the most goals for us. Of course, then players like Marco Royce, Jude Bellingham are quality options, and you can't really go wrong with them. And we're going to take... Okay, yeah, I've made a decision. We're going to take a little bit of a risk. We are going with Anthony Modeste. I don't know. I just feel like he might be a more consistent goal scorer in the league as far as these striking options go in Football Manager. I feel like he might be, from day one, the most consistent good goal scorer for us. We're then going with Marco Royce because, you can't go wrong with him, basically. Unless he breaks his ankle or whatever it is that he did on the last weekend. Please don't be out for the World Cup, Marco. I haven't seen an update, to be honest. Just saw him injure it and then I got scared. Maybe should have gone with Jude Bellingham. I don't know. Let me know what you reckon as we head now to Mönchengladbach. Alrighty, now looking at Mönchengladbach. I think we're going to go with Marcus Thuram because I feel like that's a solid option up front. So I think on Football Manager he's more of a winger than a forward, but he's definitely been playing forward this year. I've also super enjoyed Cudio, I don't know how to say it, Mr. Kone here, Quadio Kone, I don't know. From what I've seen of Mönchengladbach this season, he's looked fantastic. I've really enjoyed looking at him, watching him play. I feel like it probably doesn't translate to Football Manager last year, but I think he's been fantastic. I'm then tossing up between Lars Stindl, Jonas Hoffmann, and Florian Neuhaus, and what's sort of going through my mind is who's going to be the best on Football Manager, basically. And in terms of fulfilling a need in the squad, what we're going to go is we're going to go with Lars Stindl. I feel like it's maybe not the best pick. Let me know what you reckon. Maybe I should have gone with Julian Weigl for the same role. I don't know. Let me know what you reckon. But we're going with Lars Stindl and Marcus Thuram. Spin number 9 now, hoping to get Bayern Munich because I need to take them apart. Instead, we're going to Wolfsburg. I don't know how we're looking, to be honest. All right, we are on Wolfsburg's team. We're going with Reed Labaku because I know his quality in Football Manager. That's one solid option. As far as the rest of their squad goes, I don't really know the best option as far as Football Manager goes. I also don't know how Enrico Maaßen plays, so I don't really know what squad I should be building for. And I feel like what we're doing is building a good team to come 5th in the league. You know what I mean? Like they're just a bunch of decent enough players that'll get you to almost being good enough. We also don't... we do have one striker in Modeste, so I'm not sure if we should get another one of these ones, one of Wolfsburg's strikers as our backup, but who knows? Man, this is tough. What we gonna... Alright, we're going to go with Max Arnold, because again, you know the quality he's got, especially if you watch that one free kick with the there was like a knuckleball but hit with the outside curl. It was fantastic. It was incredible to watch. But I'm not confident. 2 spins to go, hoping that we get Bayern in one of these spins. We get Union Berlin, which in real life is brilliant right now. I'm not sure how good it'll be on Football Manager. Alright, looking at their squad, what we really need, I think, out of these last couple of spins would be keeper, right back, centre back and striker. So really we're not entirely looking at their midfield options. It's more anyone who can play right back, centre back, striker, and then the keepers, which I'm not really fond of. And I don't know how well any of these striker options actually translate. Man, I feel like the wheel has really screwed us this time around, and if we restarted this whole thing, we'd get a completely different team and be completely set, you know? I don't know. Man, I'm sort of struggling here, but I feel like I remember Christopher Trimmel playing... I think Union play with a 3 at the back, so I think he was like the right wing back, but I'm hoping that he'll do a job at right back for us. So that's what we're going to go with. And then for a centre back option, I think it's between Timo Baumgartel and Robin Knocker. I think Robin Knocker is better on Football Manager, so that's the way we're going to go. And now we're just really struggling. If we get Bayern on our last spin, we get to pick someone to play striker and Manuel Neuer, which would be fantastic. I feel like we're not pulling them apart enough though. Alright, last spin. Where are we headed? It's Hertha Berlin. Guys, I'm going to tell you now, I don't think we're winning a league. All right, looking at Hertha Berlin goalkeeper, we're going to take, well, John seems like 57 years old or something, so we're going to go with Christensen, even though I don't think he's fantastic on Football Manager. And then as far as a striker goes, wow, whoa, why do they have 16 strikers? Who's going to be the best for us on Football Manager here? I mean, none of them is probably the right answer. I'm going to go with David Selke. I know he's quite good physically on Football Manager, so I mean, hopefully that does the job. Oh man, this isn't gonna go well. Alright, let's I'll put this together, I'll put it onto Football Manager, I'll put it onto the editor rather, and then we'll just have a recap of the squad. See you shortly. Alright boys, here is the team. It is Pavlenka and Oliver Christensen as our goalkeeping options. Defensive options are Dan Axel Zagadou, Robin Knocker, Nicholas Stark, Evan Ndika, Christopher Trimmel, Reed Lavaku, Iago and Borna Sosa. Midfield is Kevin Stoger, Zevish Schlager, Max Arnold, Gerrit Holtmann, Daichi Kamada, Lars Stindl, Andre Hahn, Marco Royce, Christopher Nkunku. Striking options sort of split between Marcus Thuram, Anthony Modeste and Davy Selke. I think, as I said before, while we look decent, and there's a lot of very decent players there, when you really think about it, I think it's just sort of a team that'll, like a lot of other Bundesliga teams, that'll just not be good enough to take down Bayern Munich, really. Be a good team to come third or fourth, behind, Leipzig and Dortmund or something like that. That's sort of my prediction, I reckon. Anyway, I'm going to put this into Football Manager, start up a season, we'll look at the season preview, and then we'll simulate. See how we get on. Alrighty, here we go, boys. We are in Karl Duck's back. Let's have a look at the Bundesliga, how they reckon our Augsburg side is going to go. Bundesliga season preview, 9th. They think they're going to come 9th. Oh no, Enrico Maaßen plays a 3 at the back. He doesn't play with wingers. Oh no, it's all gone downhill. It's gone terrible. I think we might struggle. Oh well. I guess we'll see how we get on. I'm going to predict we finish better than 13th. I'm probably hopeful that Enrico Maaßen isn't there at the end of the season, just because I think Football Manager's sort of done him a bit dirty, basically. Stop making us look at them. I think we're going to do a lot better than 9th, because that's sort of middle of the pack. I think we're better than that. Maybe 3rd or 4th, hopefully. We'll see. Alrighty, guys, make sure to leave us a like below, subscribe if you're new around here, all that stuff. We're going to get to the good part now. Let's get through to the end of the season, see how we got on. See you soon. Alright, E-boys, we are back. We're at the end of the season. It's the 30th of May. I think the Bundesliga's actually been done for a couple of weeks, to be honest, but we're going to look to see how we went. We're going to look at Jude Bellingham to find our way to the Bundesliga. Oh, it says Dortmund is 2nd. Where's Augsburg? League table... Oh dear, 6th. That's not our best effort. Schlager did well. He got himself 11 assists. Let's have a look at how we've gone. Alright, 6th. That's madness. Alright, let's look at the squad. Is anything different or weird? Sturger is leaving. He's going to Nuremberg. Modeste is asking to leave because he hasn't been played. Musa Gineppo is here. Renan Lodi is here. Anyone else different? Alex Iwobi. Don't really know what's happened. Is that still our same coach? Yep, our coach is still Enrico Maaßen. So, I mean, to be fair, for Augsburg, they finished 13th the season prior. So, really, he's done a fantastic job in the grand scheme of things. Just, I'm a little disappointed. How did we go? We got knocked out in the first round of the German Cup or DFB Pokal by Mannheim on penalties. That's shocking. Our season was, it started out with a loss, but then got a bit better. It was patchy at best, really, wasn't it? Geez, the second half of the season was horrid, wasn't it? This second half of the season definitely lost more than we won, or lost or drew more than we won. We didn't have a good winning percentage in the second half of the season. That's what I'm trying to say, and that's what we needed, basically. Transfers, what did we do? Other than my dealings and bringing who we brought in, they brought in Mario Subaric, who is a left back who is god awful. He went to Augsburg too. Okay, thank God. I was looking at how he had played just down the bottom here, how it says he'd played 33 games. Thankfully, it was for Augsburg too. As we saw, Alex Iwobi came in. He's played 20 times off the bench and only started 1 game, so that's a fantastic acquisition. Christoph Kobold, a centre-back, hasn't played once. Got loaned out. That's good. Fantastic. Gineppo's come in. He barely played. Didn't do much. Renan Lodi came in. He played. He wasn't very good. Did they sell anyone? Yep, Gerrit Holtman went, Iago went, Andre Hahn went. What are they doing? Why have they sold those two? Bizarre. I don't know who Dorian Sevis is, because I didn't sign him. I don't know where he came from, but they sold him apparently. I don't know where they snuck him in. Gerrit Holtman also left. It's just not a good time. It didn't go well. That's basically the story. Who played well? Top goal scorer was Christopher Nkunku, and goal scoring seems to have been the issue. Marco Royce then second with 9 goals, but got 0 assists somehow. As for who did get the assists, other than the lack of Marco Royce assists, we had Jevish Schlager doing a great job. It's just not gone to plan. Borna Sosa wanted by Lyon, Pavlenka going to Villa, or wanted by Villa. Modeste will leave, basically. Nkunku had the best performances, Max Arnold second, then Schlager, then Evan and Ika. Oliver Christensen in his 2 appearances did well, apparently. Marco Royce apparently played well, even though it doesn't look like it. Tactics, they did play that 3 at the back, and that's probably where they've gone wrong, because again, it's the same as how we did for Salernitana, where you can probably go 2 ways with it. It's either my idiocy or the coach's lack of flexibility or something like that. I don't know. One of those two, but either way, it didn't go to plan. Basically, that's the crux of it. I mean, they've made a European competition. They'll be playing in the Europa League next year, so I guess that's positive. That's something. We were just absolutely nowhere near knocking Bayern Munich off their perch at the top of the league, and I mean, no one was really. The closest team was Dortmund, and they were 19 points off, so I think we'll be back. We'll definitely come back and retry this one, because I want to knock Bayern off, because apparently that's the hardest thing in the god dang world. That's frustrating, man. Anyway, let's move on. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave us a like if you made it through this far. Really appreciate it. Comment down below what you thought of the video, all that sort of good stuff. Comment any other challenges you might want me to take on, any other, wheel spins, experiments, maybe you want to see a team of 10 Haalands and how they'll go. I don't know. Let me know what you want. We'll see what we can draw up, basically. That'll do us, though. Thanks for watching. Until next time when we go again. Peace.